All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. You ready for some high-speed action tonight? Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Gateway. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. The high-octane Racing League Buschwackers Series hits Gateway, or World Wide Technology Raceway, for a 120-lap race. It's race number 3 of the season. This egg-shaped oval will try your patience. Who's got what it takes to bring home the victory here at Gateway? Well, there's only one way to find out, baby, and that's watching it right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, a little Buschwackers action here on a Friday night, and we are at Gateway for a 120-lap race. Race number 3, baby. Let's get this party started. All right, thank you so much for coming in here and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. And we got a good one here for you tonight, man. Gateway is a fun track. 120-lap race tonight. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And, man, 120-lap race here at Gateway. A lot of fun, man. This track is a lot of fun. It's very challenging, but a ton of fun. We got about 8 minutes left in the practice sessions. These guys are getting around the course. Thank you so much for joining me here on the TurnLeftTV YouTube channel. Don't forget that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and smash the bell, baby. You get updates when the races are going live here at TurnLeftTV. Thanks to all those folks who help me out by staying here and hanging out, and all the new subscribers, sharing the videos with all your friends. All that stuff helps me out here at TurnLeftTV and get those races out there for everybody to see. Schedule here at World Wide Technology Raceway tonight. 120-lap race number 3 of the season. And look at next week. Bristol Motor Speedway, the Steve Freeze Memorial, 250-lap race coming up next week. That's a big one for us here at High Octane Racing League, man. Really, really big race for us. So don't forget to join us next week. But we got a score to settle with World Wide Technology Raceway, or Gateway, tonight for a 120-lap race at this egg-shaped oval. Some more racing headed your way this weekend. Of course, we'll be at Gateway with the big boys tomorrow night. 120-lap race in the Saturday Night Thunder Next Gen. It's race number 5 of that season. And a 120-lap race in the Cup cars. Should be a lot of fun. I get out of the broadcast booth, get in the driver's seat, and get out here and mix it up with the boys, man. That's coming up tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight's race is brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. Are you interested in an rFactor 2 server? Well, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. How about hosting your website or your online store? Maybe some DPS hosting or shared web hosting, also available through EliteHostingUSA.com. We got about a little under 6 minutes left to go. We'll get some gentlemen joining here. We are using the DLC version of Gateway, so got 5.5 minutes left to go. Let's take a look at the point standings coming into tonight's race. Craig Marazon with a 2-point lead over Tony Furtado. Gordon Carter is in third. What a tight points battle there, man, with that top 5. Sean Jacobs is 4th. Givaldo Spindle at 5th. You see Ed Palumbo sits in the 6th position. 7th, Preston Hassel. Dennis Judichin is 8th. Pierce Crone 9th. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. 10th in points. Take a look at the 11 through 16. Dan Richter, Dana Grover, Ritzky Novar, Chris Hughes, Arthur Vieta rounding out the top 15, and then Benner Silva in 16th. Some of those part-time drivers. Some chatters in here in the chat session. Good to see the Givaldo starting us off as always. Pierce Crone as well, so thank you, Pierce. And good luck to both those guys tonight. Take a look at the track here at Gateway. World Wide Technology Raceway, we also know it as Gateway, 1.25 miles in length, 2 kilometers in length, 4 turns, and egg-shaped oval, man. Banking at turns 1 and 2 at 11 degrees, 3 and 4 at 9 degrees of banking. I've been here many times, man. I was stationed in the Air Force probably about 20 miles away from the track, and I've been here very, very many times, watching truck races, the old Grand National Series type races. So, and a lot of modifiers and so forth here at Gateway too. So it's been awesome to see this in rFactor 2 as well. So very, very cool. I can always point to the stands where I sat. Love this track, man. Miss those days as well. Well, we were talking about a special event coming up next week right here on Friday night. A very, very special event that we have here at High Octane Racing League every year, and that is the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. We're going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway this year. So we've been doing this at Daytona. We've done Michigan, and we're going to do Bristol this year. Steve Freeze Memorial 250, and that's coming up on September the 12th. Racing will start at 9 p.m. as always, but 250 laps at Bristol, and we're going to have some prizes, so forth, for some giveaways for the drivers that are Buschwackers drivers that are participating. So that's coming up. Very special event for us, man. Really, Steve Freeze was really the founder of High Octane Racing League and left us too early, and we're going to honor him by racing a little race for him. Hopefully he'll be looking down on us, and we put on a good show for him. A couple minutes left before we go into the qualification session. Keys to the race here tonight. How about the keys to the race? I think I got them. Yeah, I do. There you go. Save your tires, especially the right front. Getting into the corner too fast, too aggressively will burn up that right front tire. Corner transition's big, man. Of course, the two ends of the track, very different from one another. There'll be some downshifting tonight, too. Set up your passes. Really, I think you got to get a good run off the corner, get underneath somebody, and beat them into the next corner. Be patient here tonight and make good pit stops as always. Those are the keys to the race here at World Wide Technology Raceway. High Octane Racing League Tough Truck Series, oh my God, we'll be at Bristol. A whole week of Bristol starting off on Wednesday, and then we'll be at Bristol on Friday for the Steve Freeze Memorial Race, and then on Saturday in the Next Gen. So Bristol coming up next week. Race number 5 in the Tough Trucks, man. Got a great race this week at, where the hell did we race? We raced at Kansas. There we go. I'm old, man. I'm old. I'm, like one foot in the grave and 1 foot fighting it. Now, we got a great series. We had a great race, caution-free, and Bristol could be the same, too, man. That's going to be a fun one. The Bristol Motor Speedway in the Tough Truck Series coming up on Wednesday, September the 10th. Qualifying at 8 o'clock. We start an hour early throughout the week. These guys are headed to the qualification session. Oh, my God, are we already there? My heavens. So qualifications in order. Here we go, baby. Get ready. Track position, I think, going to be pretty big here. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling track position is going to be important. All right, qualifications. Who's going to be the first one out on the track? Looks like maybe Tony Furtado is the first one out. So we'll get him up here. So Tony Furtado going to be our first qualifier. These guys will all qualify pretty much at the same time as we have sort of private qualifying here. So Tony Furtado in his outlap. Down the back stretch into turn 3 is the 9 car, the Valvoline sponsor machine. Tony Furtado there in that time, 33.202 for Tony Furtado. Sean Jacobs in the 24 car, the Kubota sponsor machine. Now to the top of the grid for Sean Jacobs, 32.936. Now Preston Hassel, where's he at? He's jumped up to the second position in that Castrol Edge sponsor number 27 Ford. 936 is the top time. And Preston beat it here on lap number 2. There you go, 32.842, Arthur Vieta to the top of the grid. And Craig Marizon, our Michigan driver, the 60 car, the Magpul Dynamic sponsor machine. So a couple of Chevys up on the front row. Preston Hassel shown in third. Marizon shown in the 4th position. This second lap here. Oh, getting off in the grass a little bit. 32.842, the top time. Arthur Vieta. But Dennis Judicic joining us tonight too, man. He is going out to get his lap in here. We'll see where he ends up. Givaldo, 33.518, P8 for Givaldo. Pierce Crone in his attempt looks like he is fourth. And I'm not sure about Jack Furtado or Dennis Udichin. Haven't heard anything out of those guys. Whether those guys are going to make an effort. Maybe start in the back. Ed Palumbo has had a little bit of trouble there, he said. I thought I heard him say something about spinning out, but it looks like Ed Palumbo is going to start in the 9th position, I believe. Maybe he's got one more lap in it. Like he is off the pace there a little bit, so that's going to be his qualification position or qualifying position, unless Furtado and Udichin go out. Not sure what the plan is for those guys. Haven't heard anything. So it looks like quals are over effectively. And thanks for coming out. Let's get this party started.
TurnLeftTV. 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 Your butts, cause this is gonna be a great show. Heath Johnson, saying all you need to know. We got fast cars racing, hopefully you're pacing. Are you ready for some high-speed action? Step on the gas, alright. Race fans, my heavens, my heavens. Bushwackers! Saturday night! Thunder! Tough trucks! Nascar! IndyCar! GT3!
All right, we are back. Thank you for being patient. And we got the qualifications are over, and these guys are now in the warm-up session. And we're going to take a look at the qualification results. And again, I'm Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator here at TurnLeftTV. And this could be an interesting race here tonight, man. A lot of strong drivers out here. A lot of guys who this track caters to. Let's take a look at the qualification results. Qualifying in P1 is Archivieri in the 4 car. Sean Jacobs will start outside row 1. Preston Hassel and Pierce Crone make up row number 2. And Preston, the only Ford in the top 10. My God. Come on, Ford guys. Pierce Crone starts in the 4th position. Craig Marizon 5th. Tony Furtado will start in that 6th position. Gordon Carter 7th. 8th will be Givaldo Spindola. Ed Palumbo will start in the 9th position. Starting in 10th will be Jack Furtado. Starting in the 11th position will be Dennis Schuderton. And it looks like Claudio Bardelli Jr., back from vacation, will start in the 12th position. Some guys did not have the track here tonight. We used the DLC, and it looks like that may have affected some of the guys' willingness or ability to race here tonight. A little bit unfortunate. Wanted to say again, we got a big, giant special event coming up next week. It is a big one for us here at High Octane Racing League. It's the Steve Freeze Memorial 250 2025. And we will be at Bristol Motor Speedway for a 225-lap race. And it's going to be a fun one, man. Always a great race for us. Always a lot of emotions for us folks here at who've been around High Octane Racing League for since 2001, or pretty darn close. So a lot of those old guard HORL guys will be packing the house. And that's a big victory, big race win, a big race to win is the Steve Freeze Memorial 250 2025 coming up next week. It's going to be a big one for us, man. Check out our side-by-side. I think I got it working, man. I got it working. I figured it out. It took me a couple weeks, but I think we're okay. I think we're going to be just fine with this tonight. Now, we were having some trouble here the last few weeks with it. I think like 3 weeks maybe. But it looks like pretty solid right there, man. Smooth, baby. Smooth as butter. So good news there. Always like to see the side-by-side action. Got about 4 minutes and 40 seconds, about 4:30-ish to go here in the warm-up session. Jack Furtado on his first visit to this track in that 3X car. Good to see Jack, one of those old guard HORL guys. Tony Furtado, Sean Jacobs, Preston Hassel, all old guard drivers. Expect we'll see all these guys next week at the Steve Freeze Memorial Race. Bardelli coming out here, man. He's showing up late. Better late than never, Bardelli. There he is. Speaking of Claudio Bardelli Jr., he's got a little YouTube channel. That's right. A little YouTube channel going on. A big YouTube channel. How about that? Forget the Sober Tom podcast there on YouTube. Check him out. Claudio Bardelli Jr., your host. Has a lot of guests. Talks music, all things music there coming from the Sober Tom podcast on YouTube. So youtube.com/@SoberTom Podcast. Check him out. Don't forget to subscribe to TurnLeftTV. Let me get that stupid driver box off there. I need I need an assistant. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't done so, and smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live here on TurnLeftTV. We'll take a look at the schedule here in the Buschwackers Series next week. Of course, the Bristol Motor Speedway and the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. Finishing out the first half of the season in New Hampshire on September the 19th. You see the back half there, Kansas. Charlotte Road Course. Whoa! That's going to be an interesting one. Las Vegas Motor Speedway coming up on October the 10th. Talladega on October the 17th. And the day after my birthday, we'll be at Martinsville. How about that, man? My birthday's on a Thursday this year? Ah, gosh darn it. Good schedule there coming up. Just under 2 minutes left to go in the warm-up session. Did I get my pick in? And my pick to win this race. Woo, boy. All right, here's who I think's going to win this race tonight, man. Get it up here and fix my typos. I think Preston Hassel's got the job. Preston Hassel, I think, is going to win this race tonight. How about Denlock, man? How about Dennis Jr.? We should pick him, huh? We'll get him in the Steve Freeze race. I know he'll be out there for us. He doesn't have to go repair some more power plants. The guy lives in Kharkiv, and he's been busy, man. We always praying for Dennis. So that's who I'm going to choose to win this race, and that is Preston Hassel. In a Castrol-sponsored number 27 car, right there. Castrol Edge sponsor machine. Castrol a little bit loose there. Maybe got some oil on those tires. A little bit loose there, pushing it. Valdo had that was the Archer that had a view of that, but there's Valdo. Oh, Dinluck's picking Gordon Carter. Wow, okay, Dinluck. How about you pick yourself, bro? Come on. Dinluck. Shooterton join us in the chat. Good luck to Dennis tonight. All right, baby. All right, here we go. Rock and roll time, baby. Rock and roll time. Got your picks in? I got mine in. All right, here we go, baby. All right, the starting order. Let's go pick that up for you right here, man. Race number 3. It's a 120-lap race. It's the World Wide Technology Raceway. We know this is Gateway, located in Madison, Illinois. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, broadcaster, commentator, and let's take a look at the starting order here tonight at Gateway. Artur Vieta in the 4 starts P1. Sean Jacobs starts in that second position in the 24. Preston Hassel, the top Ford, starts in the 3rd position. Pierce Crone in the Chevy, and the 1X starts in P4. P5 is Craig Marizon in the 60. Tony Furtado in the 9 will start in the 6th position. Gordon Carter starts in 7th in the 56 car. The 68 of Givaldo Spinola starts in P8. P9 is Ed Palumbo in the 54. Jack Furtado in the 3X will start in the 10th position. Dennis Shooterton, the top Toyota, starts in P11. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the 19 starts in P12. Take a look at my race keys here tonight. Save your tires, man. It's easy to overdrive this car through the corners. Make sure you corner transition good. Step up or set up those passes. Be patient and make good pit stops here at Gateway. Artur Vieta, the pole setter, will lead the field to take the green flag here tonight. Here we go.
Green flag, go, go, go.
All right, Artur Vieta gets a good start. Yeah, it was side by side there with Jacobs. Jacobs almost got into the right rear quarter panel, but backed off. And we got Pierce Crone up into the outside wall, coming off turn 2, and he made some contact with the outside wall in that 1X car. Pierce Crone now sandwiched in between the 27 and the 9. The 9 car pushing pretty hard. Oh, no! Contact there between he and Marizon. Marizon and Furtado got together. And Furtado might have a little damage. I think Marizon's got damage too. So the 9 and the 60 got together. Wow. Let's take a look and see what happened there. Take a look here as the 60 car down on the bottom line. And it looked like Tony had gotten a lot of speed, got loose because he almost got in the back of the 1X, and then comes down and gets into Marizon. Man, those guys did a good job of hanging on to that. Gordon Carter had a look at that as well. On board here with Gordon. Watch this. See right there, a little bit loose. He catches it, gets into the 60 car. Those guys both keep him pointed in the right direction. Ed Palumbo picking up a position there. Wow. Getting racy here early on. And the 4 car says, I don't want anything to do with that, man. Let me get out here and lead. He's got a 1 second lead over Sean Jacobs. Jacobs in that second position. Preston Hassel is in the third position, but Pierce Crone now battling on the inside, and Preston Hassel's going to let him go. Preston Hassel there pretty slow into the corners. Pierce Crone muscles around. A battle here is Tony Furtado and Craig Marazon battling side by side. Remember, they got together a little bit earlier. Now Furtado dives into the corner as Marazon lets him go. Bardelli Jr. is working his way up through the field. Bardelli Jr. looking racy here. The back of that Magpul Dynamics sponsored machine. And Bardelli Jr. dropping out to the inside. He's got a head of steam going into the corner. He and the 60 battling. And Bardelli Jr. is lightning fast right now. It looked like Furtado might have gotten into the outside wall coming off the corner. So Furtado, he's had a busy race here so far. Take a look at Gordon Carter here in the 56 car. He's running in the 9th position. And if I know his race strategy like I think I do, he is thinking about long run here, save the tires, reel these guys back in. He's had some strategy figured out not only in the Truck Series, but also in the Saturday Night Thunder. Watch the 56 car here tonight and see how that pans out for him. Ed Palumbo and Tony Furtado now battling it out. Down the backstretch into turn 3. Ed Palumbo in the mellow yellow throwback scheme. Getting by Tony Furtado. And Furtado trying to tuck in and not let Gordon get by. So P8, P9 right there. Furtado's got a head of steam coming down the front stretch. Off the start-finish line into turn 1. And Palumbo holding on to that spot. There's some racing going on here. Jack Furtado, did 3X car. Got a little work to do. Right now 15 seconds back. About 3.5 seconds between he and P10. So maybe some early trouble there for Jack. He's running the 3X car, and he's running in the 11th position. Dennis Schuderchin, not sure if he didn't start or what, but he is out in the garage. So I don't know what happened to Dennis. Interesting situation there. The 4X of Archer Vieta, the leader. Archer Vieta, the leader. Pierce Crone starting to close in. Sean Jacobs is in the third position. So Pierce Crone got around Sean Jacobs, it looks like. Take a look at that pass. Oh, it looked like Sean might have had a little connection issue. So he flashed a little bit at 24, so he dropped back and lost a spot. Uh-oh. Better tell the wife to stay off the internet. Ask the wife to stay off the internet. The 4 of Archer Vieta in the NASCAR BR-sponsored Chevy is our leader. Pierce Crone in second. Sean Jacobs in the third position. Bardelli Jr. fourth. Preston Hassel is in fifth. Craig Marazon running in the sixth position. He has a busy about first 5 laps this race. Now finds himself back in P6. Ed Palumbo is in 7th. Carter 8th. Furtado 9th. Spindola rounding out the top 10. Pierce Crone now battling for the race lead. Pierce Crone to the inside. And Vieta's going to give him a lot of room. Pierce Crone working his way up through the field, side by side with Vieta coming off turn 2 down the backstretch. It's still a drag race between the 4 and the 1X. And the 1X looks like he might be able to squeeze in there, as the 4 could give him the chrome horn here. Now Pierce Crone to the lead. Archer Vieta is second. Sean Jacobs in the third position. Looking out the front of Sean Jacobs' machine, you see Archer Vieta just ahead. Pierce Crone running in P1, and those guys are fighting right now. Yeah, looking for an opening, maybe on that inside. Here's Crone has to play a little defense. Could be Sean Jacobs' game here as well. So the front three starting to get a little racy. And we're looking back to P4, and P4 happens to be, Claudio Bardelli Jr. reeling them in. Claudio says, come on, boys. Wait for Papa. Papa's on his way. Papa Samba Man. The Samba Man is closing in. Now, 4 seconds back to P3. We'll see how that works out. Preston Hassel running in P5. Got Craig Marizon right there in his zip code. Got to hit your marks here at this track. Race the track. It's what makes this track so much fun, really. There is some room to race here. The speeds are just slow enough through the corners. They can get some good side-by-side racing, but really, you got to work on line here. Remember, each end of the track is different here at Gateway. Shaped like a big egg, a skinny egg. How about that? Go back live here with Pierce Crone, our leader. 15 laps in. So the 1X leading to Archer Vieta is second, about half a second back. Sean Jacobs about 1.5 seconds back in the race lead in third. Claudio Bardelli Jr. is about 5.5 seconds. It looks like maybe he might have burned up his stuff trying to close in and catch these guys. That's what I'm thinking. Claudio's now has dropped a little bit. Maybe burn up those tires somewhat, trying to get through the field. Long race here, 16 laps in. Long race. Check on Gordon Carter. He's running in the 8th position, just ahead of him, Ed Palumbo. So this battle's starting to tighten up a little bit. Out of the front of Gordon Carter's machine at that mellow yellow sponsored Camaro just ahead. And these guys separated by about 0.8 of a second. Take a look at that side-by-side view there, that battle, I should say, between P7 and P8. About a second there in that lap. Maybe Palumbo starting to catch up onto some draft. Maybe a little bit to go there for that. Waldo Spindle and Jack Furtado having a fist fight right now. Jack Furtado with a 3X on the high line in a 68 car. Really battling. He's not able to get the room there. He got beside the 3X, but he need a little bit more room to pull off that pass, drift up into another lane. And Furtado says, I don't think so. Jack Furtado got a whole mirror full of Givaldo Spindola, and Givaldo missed that corner a little bit up on the high line. He's got to be careful to stay out of the wall. Man. Flirting with the wall there. Got to hold that line, man. You get up in that outside wall, get some right side damage. That's going to ruin your night. Givaldo in the 68. He's got some work to do. So Jack Furtado getting that position. Yeah, Palumbo and Gordon Carter now have a little bit of disagreement. The Mellow Yellow sponsor number 54. Running in the 7th position as Gordon Carter just behind him in P8. Take a look at Gordon Carter. And Ed Palumbo is going to let him go by. Ed Palumbo got way up on the high line, probably giving Carter enough room. Fast off the corner, though. Carter may not be able to pull up that pass. So you stay on that high line, you get a little bit better run off the corner. Carter got underneath Ed Palumbo and actually inched ahead, but not able to pull off the pass. Take a look here as Carter dove down to the inside, and Ed Palumbo working that outside line, gets a better run, better bite off the corner. Has the room that he needs. Carter needed that room to be able to drift up and get some speed, but Ed Palumbo taking that position back. He said, "Not today, buddy." Here's Crone, Artivieta. Nose to tail. And I tell you what, man, Artivieta, cagey veteran here. Been knowing Artivieta for a long time, and this guy has got some skills. Pierce Crone, one of our new racers, has got some skills as well. He seems to be able to adjust very well between the trucks, the Buschwackers Series Xfinity cars here tonight, and also the Cup cars. Just really a lot of knowledge about how to set up these cars and what what the feeling he's getting from the cars to be able to make some adjustments. And Pierce Crone and Artivieta about half a second separate the two of these guys. So we got a new driver here, and we got a cagey veteran holding on to the back end. Another cagey veteran here running in the third position. That is Sean Jacobs in the 24. One of our great Pennsylvania drivers over in that western side of Pennsylvania. Oh, he's going to kill me. Western side of Pennsylvania. It's east of me. That's my problem with that. So, yeah, the western side of Pennsylvania, from that Johnstown area. Been racing with the High Octane Racing League since, like 2003, 2004? You can tell me. We'll get all that out in the open next week in the Steve Freeze Memorial Race. But what a big win that would be for him in the 24. Gordon Carter running in Preston Hassel running in P5. Sorry about that. Preston Hassel in the 27. Another one of those HORL old guard, and I do mean old. With respect to Preston, I'm just kidding. I think I'm older than he is. He's running into the 5th position at Ford. Quiet night here. He's my pick to win this race, so he's got a little work to do reeling some of these guys in. He's got 2 Fords now in the top 5. Very Chevy heavy field. I didn't do that on purpose. Chevy heavy. Oh, man. Who's running in P5 is Preston Hassel. 27 car, Castrol sponsored Ford. Craig Marizon, another one of those great. Oh, Craig Marizon getting into the outside wall, coming off the corner there. Contact with the outside wall for the 60 car as it came off the corner. I don't know how much damage that Michigan driver has, but that thing looked like it hit pretty hard. Let's see if we can't get a look at that. Might be a little bit late here. I'm not sure I have the right portion of the replay. This might be after the fact, already making contact. And yeah, a little bit too early there for him, but we've got some looking for that deal. So we definitely saw him hit the wall, so he's definitely got some right side damage. Geraldo Spindler has gotten around Tony Furtado. Now, Tony Furtado is on pit lane. Did not notice that, so Tony making a pit stop. And maybe that's a portrait of some things to come here. Look at this, Gordon Carter here now getting around Ed Palumbo. Oh, boy. So Gordon Carter now getting the spots. And Tony Furtado, as I think maybe finished up his pit stop. He is back out on the track after making pit stop. He is shown in the 11th position. Maybe a little strategy there for Tony Furtado. Playing that fuel mileage game. Closing in on Ed Palumbo. Furtado on fresh tires. Ed Palumbo running in the 8th position. Not going to battle too hard. So I'm hearing some guys are going to be coming down pit lane, and maybe one of those might be Sean Jacobs. Oh, Givaldo may have smacked the wall there. Sean Jacobs indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane. I'm pretty sure I heard that on the radio. Jacobs, no, not pitting this time. Sean Jacobs staying out. There's the access road, so maybe another lap there for him. Bardelli Jr. may be coming down pit lane, and that is correct. So Bardelli Jr. and Jacobs did come down pit lane. Well, I must have missed that. So the two KG veterans here, champions, now coming down pit lane. One Ford, one Camaro, and Bardelli Jr. in his pit box. Got to be really careful pitting here, because you get on too early and somebody spins out, you're stuck. You see Ed Palumbo coming down pit lane. And Bardelli Jr. now finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. Look at that. Kubota spots to be seen just behind him. So those guys going to come out together. As Art Vieta still making some laps. He wants to see if he can't catch somebody on pit lane. Pierce Crone is on pit lane, as now Art Vieta is peeling off the track to come down pit lane. So Pierce Crone on pit lane as Vieta making his way down pit lane. Pierce Crone finished with his pit stop, coming back out on track. So the race leader, Artur Vieta, coming on to pit lane, and that's going to give the race lead now to Gordon Carter. So Gordon Carter, our first place car, as Artur Vieta throws that car into the first pit stall. And I'm hearing that Gordon Carter is now going to be coming down pit lane. Artur Vieta, 4 tires and fuel. So Artur Vieta now coming off pit lane on that access road. Got to be really careful not to get into the grass on that right side of the car. If you get into the grass, you are on ice. Sorry, maybe Jack Furtado might be getting some laps led here, as Gordon Carter, I think, has come down pit lane. So Jack Furtado trying to get some laps led here tonight, as Carter is on pit lane. Furtado, it seems like Pierce Crone now off pit lane. So Furtado, our leader. And it looks like Gordon Carter now exiting pit lane. So Jack Furtado in the 3X car, the race leader here on lap 34. Now you got to be thinking here, you want a caution flag come out right now. This is exactly what the 3X car wants. Because if these guys cycle back around, and you can't stay out too long. I mean, you can want for a little while, but then you got to make a decision. You got to come in. Because right now you're on older tires, and these guys are on fresh tires. So you come down pit lane, and you're going to be further back because these guys are running you down right now. We'll see what Jack Furtado does. But right now, he's leading the race. Jack Furtado getting some camera time here in the 3X. This is Tony Furtado's older brother. And he wants to beat up on the younger brother. And right now he's doing it because he's in the race lead. Tony Furtado running into 6th position, so a good run for the Furtado brothers tonight. We'll take a look side-by-side view. We'll get them both on there. Oh, there you go. The 3X coming down pit lane. Tony Furtado in 6th. So you see right there the number clicking up. He's now in 4th. Going to drop back to 5th right here. Tony, younger brother Tony, now going to pass him by. He might wave at him. On the way by, you see Furtado going down pit lane. And, Jack. And then Tony now crossing the start-finish line, picking up P5. There's some side-by-side action here for you tonight. That's both the brothers in one image, one on the same screen at the same time. How about that? double my pay. Pierce Crone, the race leader, but Arthur Vieta has hounded him all night long. And, man, I don't know, buddy. Vieta's a pretty cagey veteran here, so he seems to have something figured out. Pierce Crone not able to get too far away from him. These guys are starting to roll up on some lap traffic. Givaldo Spitaly, see him in our screen. So the race leaders are getting ready to put Givaldo another lap down. Givaldo 3 laps down. Not had the night that I think he's wanted. So Arthur Vieta running in second as Pierce. Oh, Arthur starting to peak there. Arthur starting to peak. Good racing here between the top 2. Arthur Vieta, Pierce Crone, P1, P2. So keep your eye on this battle. These guys are starting to roll up on Givaldo. Now Givaldo is just in front of them. You see both those guys go down the long line. Oh, Vieta trying to beat him to the punch. Vieta trying to beat him to the punch. And those guys might have swapped a little paint. They might have swapped just a little bit of paint right there. Let's see if we can't get a look at that. This is Pierce Crone. We're looking at a replay. Pierce Crone rolling up on, that's a little bit early. Rolling up on Arthur Vieta. Catching him pretty early here, and I think we're going to see some action. Just be patient. Pierce Crone, Arthur Vieta. This is from a moment ago. Coming off that backstretch. It'll take us about a minute or so to get to this replay, I think. We saw them get a little frisky right there. They'll catch up to Givaldo. Claudio Bardelli Jr. just behind him. About 2.5 seconds back. And right there, starting to peak. This guy's going to roll up on Givaldo here pretty quickly. We're looking at a replay here because I want to see that again. That was a wreck waiting to happen. Pierce Crone holding him off. Got a good lead. He's got a real hard entry into the corner. Now watch this next corner here. This is going to get interesting. So 1X goes to the outside. Vieta following him through. Watch this. Vieta sneaking down. Right there. Whoa! A lot of action right there, man. I don't know if there was contact in the right front of that car of Vieta, but that got interesting. You see, it was worth it. That was worth it. Come on. They give me a thumbs up on that one. I searched for it. Look at that 1, 2, 3. Bardelli Jr. now in the same frame, huh? 19 car. Closing in on these boys. He wants to see them get racy. He can see it. He can smell blood in the water right now. He sees them. 2.8 seconds back is Claudio Bardelli Jr. in third. Sean Jacobs running in the 4th position. That Kubota sponsor machine, he's rolling up on Givaldo as well. Greg Marzon, he's running in the 60 car. Not been the night I think he'd wanted. He might have made some contact with the outside wall. A little damage on that 60 car. That Magpul Dynamics machine is running in the 9th position. Race is still young. Got a lot of laps to go. This is a rhythm track. Once you get this going, this really is a rhythm track. Different rhythm, different sides of the track, but it is a rhythm track. With the 54 getting by the 3X car of Jack Furtado. Palumbo is in 8th. Furtado is in the 10th position, 1 lap down. Furtado is in the lucky dog position. He wants to see a caution flag. Bring a caution flag out. Let me get back on the lead lap. Can't blame him there, that's for sure. And this race right here is the one to watch. Is that 4 and the 1X. They've been able to extend that lead just a little bit on Bardelli Jr. They start getting side by side. That's going to be a different story. How about Tony Furtado? Did not have a great start to the race, but here he is running in the 5th position. A top 5 run for Tony Furtado. Just got back from a mini vacation. The Valvoline sponsored Chevy running in P5. Good top 5 run for Tony. Tony finally dragged his brother out here to join us. Now we got the Furtado brothers back, just like old times. Just like old times. Jack Furtado running in the 10th position. Tony Furtado running in P5. Getting a little interesting back there for P6. That's Preston Hassel and Gordon Carter. These guys virtually nose to tail. About a second separate the two of those guys. 27 Castrol sponsored machine running in the 6th position. Gordon Carter running in P7. Gotta hit your marks at this track. And Preston Hassel going into turn 1 through the middle of the turn, out of turn 2. The backstretch, want to get a good run. Good bite off the corner. That's the key to this series, or this track, I should say, and this series. See Gordon Carter running in the 7th position. About 1.2, 1.3 second gap, pushing 1.4. Now closing in on Tony Furtado. So both these guys now closing in on that Valvoline-sponsored Camaro. You see it right on board with Preston Hassel. Preston Hassel's going to pick up this spot down to the inside. The Castrol-sponsored machine going to get by Tony Furtado. He's running now back in the 6th position. Preston Hassel picking up P5. A couple Chevys behind this Ford. You see Gordon Carter back there as well. We need to make that tag right there not be in front of the car that's in front of him. I don't know how to do that, but I'm sure this is a coding problem. Now Gordon Carter going to get around as he calls him T-Bone. Tony Furtado. Tony T-Bone Furtado. Now falling back to the 7th position. Gordon Carter up to P6. Waldo now picking up a spot. He is in P10 as Jack Furtado is on pit lane. So a little bit different pit strategy out of Jack. Oh, boy. Jack Furtado has had some trouble here. Whoa. Let's take a look here. I got to back it up this way. Jack Furtado has some trouble here. Sorry. Not the way I want to do it. So Furtado got loose through the corner. Oh, it snapped up into the outside wall. Hard lick there for Jack Furtado. And that's what happened. Man, that was a hard crash. So Jack Furtado is now on pit lane. And he's got an extended pit stop ahead of him. Pierce Crone is the leader. Jack Furtado on pit lane. A lot of damage to get repaired here. You saw the back end of the car come around, and it snapped loose, back up and straight into the outside wall. And he is going to be on pit lane for a while. That crew may say enough is enough. Wouldn't it be nice to have animated pit crews? Come on, I'm going to keep saying that. Some coder out there, figure out how to do it. Let's figure out some animated pit crews. That'd be kind of cool. And then once you get that, you can actually get them like working on the right part of the car, right? You get somebody, if it's an engine thing, or if you get somebody, it's like a back end thing. Hey, pull a few fenders out. Oh, wait, we don't have visible damage in this. Sorry, I'm on my soapbox. Pierce Crone. He doesn't need to worry about visible damage. He's out there leading the race in the 1X car. He hasn't been able to get away from Archer Vieira, however. And it looks like Jack Furtado is now back out on the track after an extended pit stop. Around the access road there. Back out, coming out of turn 3. Jack Furtado, long pit stop there for him. Contact with the outside wall, and I think Brother Tony is in the pits now as well. So he's on pit lane. Let's take a look at him as he ducks into his pit stop. On board here with Tony Furtado. Oh, Vieta might have hit the outside wall. It looks like Artur Vieta in that side-by-side on the left side. Looks like Artur Vieta may have hit the outside wall. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Artur Vieta. It looked like he might have gotten a little tight coming off the corner and made some contact right here with the outside wall. Oh, yeah, little contact there for Vieta. That's going to be some pretty significant damage to the right side. That's warping there on my part. Take a look at Craig Marizon now picking up a position as Tony Furtado came down pit lane. We go back to live here. So Marizon now picking up a spot. He's in P8. He had some damage early on, so I think that's affected the car. As we see Pierce Crone, the leader, here on lap 58. We are approaching halfway. These guys have been working their guts off, and I think Vieta's gotten back into the outside wall. Interesting here, once they pit under green, is he going to decide that he's going to fix this car? That's going to extend his pit stop. Right now, he's on the backside of Pierce Crone, and it doesn't seem to be hurt too much, unless he's overdriving it, trying to keep up with Pierce Crone. And now we got a wad of cars just ahead, and one of those is the 54, Ed Palumbo. Ed Palumbo is on the tail end of the lead lap here in the Mellow machine, and the leaders are on their way. Craig Marizon in this mix too. He's running in the 8th position, but Pierce Crone, the leader, he's going to try to get by Marizon, and I think Marizon's going to let these guys have the spot. 54, Ed Palumbo, down the backstretch as Crone able to put a little distance between him and put a car in between him and Artur Vieta, and Pierce Crone diving down to the inside. As these guys working their way through some lap traffic. Well, Pierce Crone now getting by Ed Palumbo. Ed Palumbo is in the 7th position, and Artur Vieta is going to want to get through. Vieta now dealing with some lap traffic. On board here with Vieta as he does get by Ed Palumbo. Palumbo gave those guys a lot of room. Cagey veteran right there. Veteran move. He knows that type of thing is going to be repaid to him if it's ever switched. There it is, Sean Jacobs in the 24. He's now running in the 2nd position. So it looks like we have Claudio Bardelli Jr. back on pit lane. So Bardelli Jr., I believe, is on pit lane as Sean Jacobs shown in the 3rd position as he picked up a spot. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. has a penalty. Uh-oh. Bardelli Jr., I think he might have, he might have gotten a speeding penalty, and it does look like it. So Bardelli, oh no, you know what that means. We got to find him. Uh-oh, Bardelli. Naughty, naughty. Naughty, naughty right there. Gets caught. Speeding on pit lane here. Woo! Coming down pit lane on lap 63. Team Samba in trouble. Man. And La Policia is infiermo? Is that infuriated? That's all I know how to say. As Artur Vieta now the leader is Pierce Crone back out. Pierce Crone looks like he might be coming back out on track. Pierce Krone is 1 lap down. Arte Vieta now coming off the track to come down pit lane. And Pierce Krone will reassume the race lead, I believe, when it's all said and done. We'll see how this pit stop works out for Vieta. It might be interesting to see how this works out. Vieta is on pit lane. Krone gave up the race lead to come down pit lane, take some service. Now let's see what the in and out is. On to pit lane, pitting, and off of pit lane. That's the in out. Vieta trying to angle that car in such a way where he can get a good jump off of pit lane, man. Every split second counts. Going crossing the start-finish line, and Vieta is still on pit lane. Still on pit lane. That is going to be an interesting situation now. He's going to have to play some catch-up. He's going to need a little help. Now he's about 8 seconds back. So that on-off pit lane for Pierce Krone, a lot better than what we saw Vieta get. So Arte Vieta has some work to do. 7.5 seconds. Now 8 seconds back. Got some work to do to be able to close in on Krone. Here's Krone, the race leader. Lot of laps to go. We're just past halfway. Lap 66. And we've been caution-free, I believe. We haven't had a caution flag. We've had some good racing. I think guys are racing the track tonight. Keep our eyes on that gap between Vieta and Krone. Now down to 5.5 seconds. So Vieta is on the move. Definitely on the move. He's now closing in on Gordon Carter, lap car. Gordon Carter is 1 lap down in the lucky dog spot. So a penalty. Little penalty for Claudio Bardelli Jr. has brought him back to the tail end of the lead lap. Not quite all the way at the end. There's a Furtado and Hassel are. Furtado is technically on the tail end of the lead lap as he is having a battle here with Preston Hassel. These guys have been in each other's zip code all night long. Really. Vieta now running the fastest lap of the race, 32.984. That is the fastest lap of the race. So, Vieta is on the move. 3.8 seconds, 3.9, about 4 seconds between the two of those guys. See how that time continues to change throughout this run. Back here to Tony Furtado running in the 6th position. He is the last car on the lead lap. And that number 9 car. And the leader's just behind. The 9 of Tony Furtado just got back from a mini vacation. Out here tearing it up in the 6th position. Crack into the top 5. He's got a little bit of work to do. Looking at about 3 seconds or so between the two of those guys. About 3.5 seconds. Preston Hassel, Tony Furtado. Hassel running in the 5th position. Take a look at Preston Hassel in the 27 Castrol-sponsored Ford Mustang. Does not want to let that Chevy Tony Furtado get by. A couple old guard HORL guys right there. A lot of history. Oh, Tony Furtado makes contact with the outside wall. Wow, that was a hard lick. Tony Furtado made contact with the outside wall. Let's take a look here. A little bit of a hitch. Take a look at Tony Furtado, and man, he gets into the outside wall coming off the corner. Wide right here, and a hard lick. Wow. See if we can't take a look at that again. Get another look at this. Tony Furtado coming off. Oh, a little bit of warp there. Whoa, he did not get into the wall that hard. I can promise you that. Wow. There's an easy way to do that, and there's a hard way, so let's take the hard way. Oh, no! The 1X car trying to get around Furtado. The 1X car, the race leader. Oh, and contact for Pierce Crone. Oh, no. Pierce Crone contact the race leader. Something went wrong. Let's take a look at what happened here. Pierce Crone down below Tony Furtado. Oh, he gets loose. He gets loose, wiggly up into the 9 car, and then comes back across the track. Is going to get clipped right there. Oh, my gosh. Pierce Crone tried to get around Tony Furtado, but the car got loose. He drifted up the track, got into Furtado, and then comes snapping back up onto the course, and Vieira gets hit. So Arthur Vieira is out. Oh, how about that? He was running in P2. Let's take a look at this again. Right here, Crone gets loose. Whoa, scooching up to the outside. Snapping back right here, and then Vieira is going to hit him. Oh, big time crash there for Vieira. Oh, no. So Pierce Crone just got loose, trying to get under Tony Furtado. Go on board here, or on Tony Furtado's car. Take a look at that, out of the tail end of his car, and he's going to watch that snap back up there, and Vieira gets caught. Man. Go back to live here as Arthur Vieira is the leader. All right, the 4 of Arthur Vieira. So Pierce Crone came around, and now he's going to have to come down the pit lane here and get some repairs done. So this will be interesting now as Arthur Vieira, Preston Hassel, also Sean Jacobs all on pit lane. Tony Furtado staying out. Get some laps led. The 9, Tony Furtado, now coming down pit lane. We see Tony Furtado coming onto pit lane. Pierce Crone now going to have to start at the end of the longest line. Kind of the rule in the Buschwackers Series is that guys, if they cause a caution flag, I mean, it's pretty obvious what happened. You know, you assign a little longest line, they start at the end of longest line. So we don't reward people from in sim racing. Sometimes you get, and I'm not saying anybody out here would do that, but you know, we've had people in other series. We've had some newer drivers, you know, kind of not obey the rules. So if they cause a caution flag, you're supposed to kind of do the honor system, put down pit lane. I'm not saying he would do anything like that. You know, anybody out here on the track tonight, but that just has a. It's a good way for us to say out, you caused the caution flag. It keeps us from having 25 caution flags. We implemented that a long time ago because guys were just getting super aggressive and then almost wrecking people so they could get on the pit lane and then get some track position. So that's a long explanation of how that works. Hey, man, you know what's coming up next week? A big one. The Steve Freese Memorial 250 2025 style. That's right. It'll be live here on TurnLeftTV. It's our annual memorial race for Steve Freeze. Somebody who meant so much to us here at High Octane Racing League. And I know the folks who are old guard HORL guys that aren't racing anymore, I know maybe they might catch this broadcast, and shout out to those guys. Thank you for checking us out, and we definitely miss you. You're welcome back racing with us anytime. We love to have all the old guard HORL guys come out and join us out on the track. That would be awesome. Claudio Bardelli Jr., man, he might be winning next week at the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. Running it from Bristol. That's right. First time at Bristol. We've been at Charlotte. We've been Daytona, Michigan. Who knows? Maybe Gateway someday. Claudio Bardelli Jr. might have something to say about that. Let's go, baby! That's what he says. Sean Jacobs on the outside. Little Chevy versus Ford. And Jacobs maybe going to try to pitch that 19 car down a little bit. Good, clean battle there through the corner. And Bardelli Jr., a little showing some muscles. Preston Hassel trying to sneak in this picture. He's down to the inside. Preston Hassel going to get by Sean Jacobs. Preston Hassel wants to take. We got to make it all front row Fords. P1, P2 Fords now. Not many of them tonight. It looked like Givaldo might have got it in the outside wall. Coming off the corner. Zed Palumbo missing that. And running in the 7th position. Givaldo is 5 laps down in P10. And Palumbo in the throwback Mellow Yellow sponsor machine. One of our great New York drivers. And another one of those old guard guys, man. Now with Ed, we got to stress, capitalize, italicize, and put in bold the old. He's a young guy. He beats our ass, man. He's a little bit older than us, but he puts it on us, man. I know he can beat me any day and twice on Sunday. He might take it easy on me on Sunday. P4 car running in P7. Never count that guy out, man. Especially in that paint scheme I painted for him. Look at this. Tony Furtado here battling Craig Marizon. Furtado with the 9. Feeling a little frisky now as Marizon in the Magpul Dynamics machine on the outside line. These guys rolling up on some lap traffic as well, and they figured it out. Tony Furtado able to get through as Marizon follows, and now Ed Palumbo getting through. So busy here in the back. So the 9 car, Tony Furtado says, I'm not in the back. I'm in P5, buddy. Gordon Carter just ahead. Sean Jacobs running in 3rd. Tony Furtado now feeling racy here in P5, but Gordon Carter running in that 4th position. A couple Camaros trying to move up the grid. Claudio Bardelli Jr. the leader. Take a look at Pierce Crow. Now, Pierce Crow, not sure why he's dropped back. Unless he's got some pretty significant damage, that may be the case. But just started at the end of Long's line. You don't have to come down pit lane. Signed the penalty, so he is off the pace just a little bit. 19 and the 27, a couple Fords. Boy, Preston Hassel has turned up the juice. He was running back in about 3rd, 4th, 5th range. Now starting to show a little muscle to the Sober Tom sponsored Ford just ahead. And we'll see how that goes. Take a look at Gordon Carter running in the 56 car. We've got Furtado breathing down his neck now. Furtado trying to stick the nose of that 9 car down on the low line and not able to pull off the pass. And it looks like the Marizon machine might have gotten into the outside wall. What do we got going on here? 24 car, 27 car. Uh-oh. A little side-by-side. Ford versus Chevy. A couple Fords up front, but now the Chevy split in the middle. Splitting up the Fords and maybe leaving a little room for those other Chevys to follow him through. He is now running into 2nd position, getting by Preston Hassel. Claudio Bardelli Jr., the leader. He wants to open up more of a gap there on Sean Jacobs. You see 1.8 second gap between P1 P2. Now looking at a 2 second gap. Sober Tom sponsor number 19 of the leader. Sean Jacobs running into second position, about 1.5 seconds back in P2, and that's Chevy. Preston Hassel running in the third position. Gordon Carter fourth. Tony Furtado running in P5. Take a look at the Kubota sponsor number 24, our Pennsylvania drivers. He might be our only driver from Pennsylvania. Only good one we ever had. Nah, I'm just kidding. Well, in some cases, that's true. Very dedicated guy, man. Sean Jacobs has been with us for a long time. Goes way back. Still particular about those paint schemes. He's learned how to paint his own cars, though, and that's taken the heat off of us. So he can gripe at himself about that logo being 1 millimeter off. He is in the 24, trying to close in on Claudio Bardelli Jr. And it does look like he is able to reel him in a little bit. 1.5 second gap, 1.6 between P1 P2. Sean Jacobs on the move. Gordon Carter and Tony Furtado battling. Couple Camaros. Tony Furtado on the inside. To see Craig Marizon back there as well. He wants a piece of this action. And don't forget about Eddie Palumbo. Side by side there as Gordon Carter has got a nearful right now. Gordon Carter, look at that. Looking behind Gordon Carter, Marizon and Furtado battling it out. Furtado had Gordon Carter put down a place, but Gordon Carter using the outside line, and look at that battle right there. This is why you do HORL, baby. Some great battles. Marizon in that Magpul Dynamics machine. Wow, that's up in your zip code. That's all up in your grill. As Marizon, Furtado, Gordon Carter, and Eddie Palumbo. Crazy Eddie Palumbo is going to get in here and mix it up. Look at this battle. Marizon had Carter passed. Carter said, I don't think so. And now Marizon is fighting Tony Furtado. This is a great battle. You got to be kidding me right now. This was free. Look at that, on board here with Tony Furtado. Up on the edge of their seat. And Marizon needs a rest. That's what he did. He said, hey, I need a break, boys. I can't take this too much longer here. We got to simmer down. Let me recoup here, readjust, and go back at it. And that's what he's doing. Marizon running into Carter as Furtado gotten around Carter. Look at that battle. Tony Furtado got around Gordon Carter and now leaving the door open for the rest of these boys, and Eddie Palumbo wanting to get in this mix. How about this? If you didn't make tonight's race, you are missing something. 54 and the 60 now side by side. New York versus Michigan. You talk about a couple bad attitudes up in that state. These guys have put it on you. You don't say, I'm going to outrace you in Michigan or in New York. They will prove you wrong. And Craig Marizon rolling up on the Canadian, Gordon Carter. Gordon Carter on the outside, Marizon on that inside. Eddie Palumbo there running in 7. These guys, if they drop back, they're just catching their breath and figuring out another strategy. This is some great racing. Craig Marizon now got the best of these guys. He's running in 5th, Carter 6th, Ed Palumbo in 7th. That was a great series of passes there to watch. And that's textbook. That is absolutely textbook. Claudio Bardelli Jr. the leader. Sean Jacobs in second, about 7/10 back. Good battle here. Ford versus Chevy. Claudio Bardelli Jr. in the Sober Tom sponsor machine, our great Brazilian champion. Running in P1, Sean Jacobs in that Kubota sponsor machine, Pennsylvania, USA. And these guys now beating each other up again. Look at this, at Palumbo. Just give me that spot. Give me that spot. They're still trying to figure it out. Ow! And looks like Palumbo gets by, but man, these guys having a battle. Let's watch that. Gotta go back and watch this. Crazy, side by side. Palumbo to the inside, Gordon Card on the outside. These guys are still side by side here. And Palumbo able to gain that position. Now rolling up on some lap traffic, as it looks like the 3X coming down pit lane, should say. And he's got some damage to that hood. See how much damage that 3X car's got. And that is big time problems there for him. He's into the outside. He must have some super, super bad damage. Maybe some more contact with the wall from Jack Furtado. That 3X car. It looks like he's got his hood here on it. And this is looking at a replay. And the car, I think, just gets into the wall. Gets loose a little bit there. Seems to be all right there. Here's Crone on pit lane. We're watching Jack Furtado trying to figure out what happened. This must be a little bit earlier. We're taking a look at the Jack Furtado earlier here on lap 97 live, and we're watching Jack Furtado on replay as Pierce Crone is on pit lane. There's Claudio Bardelli Jr., the leader. Can't see really what happened to Furtado. I just saw the that there was something that happened, and this is him coming down pit lane. So something happened there. We just happened to miss it, whatever it was. Not good camera work by Mr. Johnson. Jack Furtado on pit lane. Claudio Bardelli Jr., he's opened up that lead on Sean Jacobs. Bardelli Jr. is shown about 1.3 seconds up. Hearing that maybe Preston Hassel, who's running in the third position, is coming down pit lane. It's going to be interesting to see how this works out.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Oh, no! Oh, there it is. Looks like he might have gotten into the grass. It looks like he might have gotten into the grass and now off the pace here a little bit. The car came around. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So a yellow, or second lap yellow here, and we'll have to see what happened. Tony Furtado is going to get the lucky dog. Let's take a look here on replay what happened. It looks like right there everything's okay, but I think he just touches the grass. Once you get in the grass, you lose your ass. Sorry. So the 27... So the 27 comes around. You take a look here, and he just, a little bit too much speed right there. And once he gets in the grass, man, the thing's coming around. And he does a good job of keeping it in the grass and not back up on the track. That could have been a lot worse. For the 19, Claudio Bardelli Jr. will be making a pit stop. He's the race leader, so Bardelli Jr. coming down pit lane. Preston Hassel brought out the caution flag. So he will start at the end of the longest line. So a little spin there for Preston Hassel. And I tell you what, you touch that grass, dude, it's over. He really came out very fortunate. He's going to have to start at the end of the longest line, but he came out pretty darn fortunate because that could have been a lot worse. Had he spun back up onto the track, those guys that are sitting behind him right now would have hit him. He would have taken out a few of those guys, not on purpose, just because the speed, he can't handle it. He's going to be sideways, backwards, whatever the case may be. And he did a good job of keeping that car in the grass. Most of the guys would have been up into the track and into about 3 cars. So Preston did a great job there of not making that a worse scenario. Tony Furtado, I believe, will assume the race lead. So we got some guys on pit lane. As it does look like Bardelli Jr. is back to the race lead. Let's get it on the right streak. There we go. So Bardelli Jr. actually shown as the race leader. We take a look at Arte Vieira coming off the track. He's going to be in P9. It's going to be Bardelli Jr., Sean Jacobs, Ed Palumbo, and Craig Marizon. Preston Hassel, 5th. All right, looks like Bardelli Jr. is elected to take that inside line. That puts Sean Jacobs up on the outside line. How about that? Ed Palumbo up to P4. Craig Marizon, P3. Craig Marizon in P4. Archer Fiero looks like he is 2 laps down. So he took the hit on that. Didn't even really notice that. I forgot to check that out. So Archer Vieira is 2 laps down. And not a good situation for Vieira. Well, Bardelli Jr. is the leader down on the inside. We'll take the green flag. As the 19 and the 24 having a fist fight here through turns 1 and 2. Bardelli Jr.'s got a good head of steam coming off the corner. Can he clear the 24 car? And he does. Yeah, Palumbo trying to sneak that Mello-Yellow-sponsored Chevy through. As Givaldo in the 68 car, he's up on the outside, going to let those guys go through. Preston Hassel, Tony Furtado, P5, P6. As Bardelli Jr. leads. Take a look at his pass here. Craig Marizon had gotten around on the outside once he goes to go back green. This is the green flag. And Marizon uses a little muscle there on the outside. He gets out in front of Ed Palumbo. Go back to live here as Claudio Bardelli Jr. is leading the 19th Sober Tom sponsored Ford. Marizon looking like he is getting even race here. He's now side by side with Sean Jacobs. Jacobs using a little muscle on the outside. Dropping down to about the middle of the turn, through the middle of the turn. in that midline and able to hold on to that spot as Marizon trying to find a way to get around the 24. We have Palumbo in the 54 running in P4. Preston Hassel running in the 5th position. Tony Furtado looking racy here in this Valvoline sponsor machine. Look ahead, look at that. Different lines coming off the corner. Preston Hassel gets a good run right there, opens up a gap on Tony. Tony at the wheel. Remember when I used to free up the camera and spin it around? That's when the guys had heads. There's got to be another shot we can get it. Maybe here. Let's see. Oh, there he is. There. Oh, look at that gorgeous dude. That's Tony Furtado right there for you. That's Tony Furtado. He has a head on his shoulders. The 9 car trying to close in on the 54. So stop making fun of me. He's gotten around Preston Hassel, the 9, Tony Furtado. Preston Hassel got a little wiggly. Probably saw that Tony didn't have a head there for a second. And those guys getting together. Take a look at that again. Preston Hassel got a little squirrely right there. Coming off the corner, and that gave Tony Furtado the room he needed to be able to get by. Preston fighting a little bit of a loose condition as he got braking pretty hard. The back end of that car launched up off the ground and started fishtailing a little bit. Claudio Bardelli Jr. and the sober Tom Ford opening up a 1.5 second gap on Sean Jacobs. These guys coming down the backstretch. Here's Crone there trying to bounce back. He is running in the 7th position. Take a look at the 1X car. Long race, man. We got a lot of laps to go. Well, I guess not too many laps. We did have a lot of laps to go. I take that back. We better get up on the edge of the seat and get these passes done. We don't have very many laps to go. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Tony Furtado getting by Ed Palumbo, picking up a spot. Tony Furtado on the move. He got by Preston Hassel, and now getting by the old guard HORL boy, Eddie Palumbo. Wanting to put a New York whipping on him. Tony Furtado not having anything of it. He is running in the 4th position. This is going to get interesting. And Claudio Bardelli Jr. hold off a charge by Sean Jacobs. That's a good question. He has a 3-second gap, so he seems to be extending that. Bardelli coming off turn 4, down the front stretch, into turn 1. We're behind the building. Why'd you put a camera behind the building, man? These guys nose to tail here. Man, they are running out of laps to make a move. The thing about it is you really got to get these long run tires going. Different lines. Let this stuff shake out a little bit. That's when you start making your passes. So early on, if you can't get it really early on, then you're going to have to wait a little while. And that's what I'm seeing, I think, right now. Craig Marizon running in the 3rd position. He's got a good run. Been a quiet night here for Craig Marizon, the Magpul Dynamics sponsored Chevy. He's a little loose there coming off the corner. The back end looked like it would have come around just a little bit. And Furtado is looking to the backside of the Magpul sponsored machine. Craig Marizon at the wheel. So Tony Furtado all up in the back of that car. Tony Furtado is there. He said, don't look at him, look at me. I've got this. I've closed in on the Magpul Dynamics machine. I see him. These guys are battling. They're different lines. They're different ways to drive the corners and the straights. It is an interesting track. It almost races like a road course in some places. It's an interesting track, man. It makes it fun. It keeps cars bunched up a little bit. It's fast, but it's just slow enough to let you get down and race side by side through the corners. But you got to get there. Tony Furtado trying to get there. Claudio Bardelli Jr. Can he put another win in the bag? It's looking like it. He is pushing about 5.5 to 6 second gap. Slowing down here just a little bit through the corner. Good run off the corner, and he'll stretch that back out. Jacobs, can he have a little luck? Maybe a lap car. .2 seconds. And it's down the straight is where Bardelli Jr. gets it back. Pushes it up to 6. 19. Claudio Bardelli Jr. Got a little lap traffic ahead. Givaldo going down to the inside in the front stretch. 2 to go for Claudio Bardelli Jr. The Sobertom sponsored Ford. Can they do it again? You do not want to see a caution flag at this stage. Givaldo giving Sean Jacobs a lot of room. Jacobs running in that second position. Probably a little bit too far back now. 5 second gap between the two of them. And we are going to get the 1 to go this time. Claudio Bardelli Jr., 1 to go. Sean Jacobs, got 6 seconds back now. Getting a little racy behind him. Furtado and Marizon starting to race it up. And Tony Furtado get Marizon. Claudio Bardelli Jr. down the backstretch into turn 3. Claudio coming off turn 4. Down the front stretch, is going to claim the win here at Gateway. Wow, another one in the bag for the Sobertom crew. So great job. So great victory there for the 19. Another one. So great job to Claudio Bardelli Jr. Got to be kidding me, man. Another big win. So Bardelli Jr. is a second win in a row. Maybe 3. I got to look, but I think it's just 2. And wow, a big one. A big one. This track's tough. It's a lot of fun. But man, some strategy played out, and it worked out in Bardelli Jr.'s favor. Doesn't it always? Big win for Claudio here at Gateway. Let's take a look at the final results before we get Claudio up here in the booth with us. Claudio Bardelli Jr. getting the win. Sean Jacobs finishes in P2. Tony Furtado third. Craig Marizon finishing at 4th position, so late race pass there. Ed Palumbo 5th. Preston Hassel finishes in the 6th position. 2 Fords, P1, P6. Pierce Crone in 7th. Gordon Carter finished in the 8th position. Arts with yet a 9th. Givaldo Spindola finishes in the 10th position. Finishing in 11th is Jack Furtado, and Dennis Schuderchen in the Toyota finishes in P12. So Bardelli Jr. back in victory lane. And we'll see if we can't get him in the booth with us to have a little chat. So what a great race, man. So, strategy, a little bit of drama, and what a great race. We'll see if we can't get a word with Claudio Bardelli Jr. Well, Claudio Bardelli Jr. joining us in the booth, and that was an interesting race, Claudio. You had some great battles with these guys. Top 5 guys were really bunched up all night long, and you had to work your way up through the field early. Let's talk about that early part of the race and then how that helped set you up for a race win here tonight.
Good night. I'm a lucky guy today, but I start 10 o'clock in server. I do not train in this track. Start the back. Try to understand the car, understand the track, understand the setup. I try to maintain my track position in the beginning, and my strategy is undercutting the guys, but I believe it don't work for the tires. Is a problem in the 20 laps, 25 laps. Is a problem to maintain the tires good and maintain my position. I wrong the pit in speeding, and I have a penalty. I try to gap to third position, but person Arthur is my friend. I try to maintain my first position after the update the position to champ, and good race. I don't remember to win this track. I'm happy today.
Well, this track races, in my opinion, like a combination of an oval, but also it's got a little short track feel with the corners. Maybe some downshifting, that type of thing that you can do through the corners here. It makes things so much more interesting, I think, at this track. How do you feel about the track in general? Obviously not racing these cars here before. How do you feel about this track? I hit the wrong button, Claudio. Hey, I was going to ask you. My whisper guys were like, "We're not Claudio." I said, "Hey, I was saying this track seems to race like a road course and also an oval. Do you feel the same way about this track, and do you think it makes for better racing?"
Yes, it's a good racing.
A lot of soul.
Well, hey, congratulations, man, in getting the win, and we'll see you next week, maybe at the Steve Freeze 250. That is going to be a big race here for us at High Octane Racing League, and really hope you're able to come out and race with it.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you for war.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Congratulations. Parabéns.
Thank you. Good night.
Well, Claudio Bardelli Jr. got a little tuckered out on the interview. I talked his ear off. But hey, great job to Claudio in getting another win. Just showing these guys, hey, this is for real. I'm here for another championship. So great job. Don't forget to join him over at the Sober Tom podcast there on YouTube. I bet his wife was calling him. Hey, come on, honey, come on, put down the steering wheel. Let's come on in here. Oh boy, I don't know what she sounds like, but there you go. That's my interpretation. I don't mean to offend anybody, so I apologize, but just teasing him. He better get in there. She's probably saying, hey, I'm the boss, you get in here. Good job to Claudio getting the big win, man. And I'll tell you what, we've got another great course coming up next week. And like I said, it's the Bristol Motor Speedway and the Steve Freeze Memorial Race. That is a huge one for us. I want to say thanks to Gordon Carter for dilly-dallying up the banner. I gave him the original banner and updated the logo, and he went to town on this, and he does a great job, man. It looks absolutely fantastic. That's coming up next week, the Steve Freeze Memorial 250. at Bristol Motor Speedway this year. This is a very important race for us, and the guys that have raced with us here in the Buschwackers Series are going to be eligible for some hats and also some Steam gift cards. It's going to be a big deal. It always is. The Steve Freeze Memorial Race really means a lot to us here that have been with High Octane Racing League since either near its inception or its inception. It's really an important race, and please join us next week here on the YouTube channel. You will not be disappointed. Speaking of the YouTube channel, if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do so. And also looking for some more subscribers, trying to get to that 1,000 mark. Help me out. And then smash the bell. You get updates when races are going live. Each and every week we get the Buschwackers race. So you'll get an alert, remind you. So that's coming up. We want to get up to 1,000, so please help me out. This race tonight has been brought to you by EliteHostingUSA.com. If you are interested in an rFactor 2 server for your race league, there are 3 self-managed server packages for you to choose from. That's EliteHostingUSA.com. Well, congratulations to the Sober Tom podcast crew, Claudio Bardelli Jr., on getting the big win here at Gateway. And that's going to do it for me tonight. Until next time, I am out of here. Sort of. I always hit the wrong button.
Checkered flag to the pounding sound in the Buschwackers. Legends are found. Heath Johnson's voice.